Pretty much everyone in the U.S. knows about the Bill of Rights, those first 10 amendments to the federal Constitution that protect things like free speech, religion, guns, trials by jury, and protection from unfair searches. But here's something a lot of people don't realize. All 50 states have their own Bill of Rights or Declaration of Rights built right into their state constitutions. That's right. Every single state has its own list of protected rights, often going even further than the federal one. So where do these rights actually come from? Many of the people who wrote our founding documents believed rights come from God, or a higher power, the Creator, whatever you want to call it. They're not handouts from the government. They're things we have simply because we're human. Think about it. Does God hand out different rights depending on whether you live in Virginia, Nevada, or Minnesota? Obviously not. Fundamental human rights should be the same everywhere. That's why, logically, if one state's constitution clearly protects a certain right, it's hard to argue that people in other states don't have that same right. Rights aren't supposed to stop at state lines. On top of that, a bunch of state constitutions have a clause that says, "This enumeration of rights shall not be construed to impair or deny others retained by the people." Utah's Constitution, Article 1, Section 25, is a good example of this. In plain English, just because a right isn't written down doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There are probably hundreds, maybe thousands, of rights we have that aren't specifically listed anywhere. Things like the right to raise your kids the way you think is best, to travel freely, to make personal medical decisions, to work in the career you choose. The list goes on. And here's the most important part. Some states make it crystal clear that the government can't touch these rights. Take Kentucky's Bill of Rights, Section 26. To guard against transgression of the high powers which we have delegated, we declare that everything in this Bill of Rights is accepted out of the general powers of government and shall forever remain inviolate, and all laws contrary thereto or contrary to this Constitution shall be void. This is called void on its face. Bottom line, rights aren't something government gives you and can take away with a new law. They're above the government. If a law ever tries to step on a real right, whether it's written down or not, that law is supposed to be struck down as invalid. Translation: these rights are completely off limits to government power. They stay protected forever, inviolate. Any law, state or federal, that tries to violate them is automatically void. Void means it's legally worthless, like it never existed. It has no force, and no one is obligated to follow it. That's the original American idea. Government serves the people and protects our rights, not the other way around.